This is another 419 Grind exclusive.
Welcome to the 419 Grind. I am back. I have been on hiatus for a little while. Good to have my sister in the building with me. I will give y'all her credentials, but she don't need much of an introduction. I'm gonna let her do her own thing. Oh no, don't put your eyebrows down, ma'am. Introducing Anitra Cherie.
What up?
You ready to get this going, man? Cause I got questions.
Oh Lord, yes sir.
I've been kind of saving my questions for this.
I'm ready.
Cause I want to learn some new stuff about, new stuff about you, or at least let the people know some new things. So a lot of people know you as a dope singer, performer, a dope mom, a dope PO. Good. Shout out to the artists with the real jobs up in this mug. But I want you to go ahead and educate the people on how old were you when you first started singing?
Goodness. When I first started singing for real.
For real, not just around the house.
For real.
Not just singing
yeah.
School days.
Right, because I was getting that in the living room.
I just watched it last week.
I was, let me think, 25. I was old already. Because my daughter was 4.
What a crying shame.
My daughter was 4 the first time I stepped in the studio. And that was just on a humbug. I used to have real bad stage fright. Mm-hmm. I ain't like singing in front of people.
So for those who have seen her perform and looking up to her, and for a lot of y'all that I've talked to personally, I know that she's one of y'all favorite performers. She was scared too. So if you keep at it, you can get great. I don't know if you're gonna get that great, but you can get great. So, who was the first person that you got in the studio with?
Logic.
You know what? Lodge don't never get his credit, bro. Lodge be breaking people in too, man, to like get in the studio and get to doing stuff.
I don't even remember how it happened. He was that's when he had his contract and his deal with Shan
Stockman, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even remember the logistics. I just remember one of my closest friends, Phil. He used to always try to push me to get into the studio.
Shout out to my brother Phil.
He helps manage me now, but he used to always be like, Nitra, you need to do something. Like, you too gifted to not let the world hear you. And I don't even remember who I was talking to. I just remember they was like, come up to this studio. And it was right there on Hill and Reynolds, where that PNC is, back in that little plaza. They had a little studio back there.
That's one of the ones I ain't never been to.
And I went in there. I was with Sid was in there. And then Swill Gates was in there.
Swill.
And Logic was in there.
What? Surprised Impress one in there too.
I don't think Impress was in there.
Probably not. But that's surprising. A lot of people would think that you've been singing at least in church all your life. So I kind of know the story. I know you sing now in church, but let the people know that like you didn't do like church is training without the training. Like the church teaches you how to sing. So you just been this good without even going to church and singing at church?
Yeah, my relationship with God, that developed on my own kind of later in my years. But my family is definitely connected to the church. Just not my, immediate family. They wasn't about that.
You're not about to throw no shade, brother.
Not at all. I love my people. That just wasn't my upbringing. That's just the nature of the beast. And
So what were you doing the first 24 years? I want to know. What was you doing the first 24 years? that you were just walking around with this voice, singing around the house, getting on everybody's nerves, but not using it? What was you doing, man?
Nothing. Like, I was going to school, keeping to myself. I remember we was in high school. I don't know if y'all did this, but at my high school, we used to do this mock wedding.
And what high school did you go to?
Start.
Terrible.
Start. Don't hate.
Terrible. My sister graduated from Start, so it's all chill out, nephews in the back. Chill out, nephews in the back.
But we used to do this mock wedding, and they were trying to figure out who was gonna sing the song that the bride and groom was gonna come down to. And somebody was like, Nitra can sing, Nitra can sing it, Nitra can sing it. And they had picked Ribbon in the Sky, Stevie Wonder.
Give me the first 4 words.
No.
Long for.
Yes. So I just remember they was taping the wedding, and I started singing the song, and everybody just started looking like, we ain't know Nitra could sing, let alone sing like that. And after that, it was just.
They said, girl, you been walking around with this big old head and you ain't been singing.
No. I stood over in my corner. Y'all could have kept me off camera. I don't.
My sister went there with you, and she been singing forever, but shoot, she like, I think Alicia got you up like 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I ain't know Alicia could sing. I know Alicia could sing until we were adults.
That's because Start people is weird, man. Like, y'all had like a few people in there that can sing.
Yeah,
though.
but we didn't have anything like for us that would allow us to.
No offense to my Start people.
Yeah, not now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how it is now with the culture over there. Just at that time when we were younger, like our royal choir was real like woo-hoo. Like it was like we was not in there. Like what? Yeah, it was just like that. It was not. It was not.
Well, what you should have did is went over to Scott where we had a nice quality choir with a bunch of legends that came.
We didn't have that. It wasn't that vibe over there. So, we just made it through.
So, but you know what? I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because a lot of time as the world try to box us in as black people to say we only gonna make it big through entertainment and sports. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, maybe they just wanted y'all to concentrate on something different. And then, you know what? I feel like it was a setup anyway, because they definitely at Sky had straight entertainment in the building. Hair in the radio station when I was there. Well, we're the same age. But they automatically, you going to do her or you can be on the radio.
Oh, definitely.
So that was already, something that we had made available to us. We got some people in here, some young cats in here. I got questions because, did y'all have some? What was y'all trades when you was at Start?
I believe they had automotive.
That's right.
Over there, and then I'm not sure if they had this at the other schools. I don't think they did, but I know we had a fashion marketing thing, and I was a part of that.
Is that right?
I was.
So what you doing with that?
Nothing.
Well, you got your own shirt on right now.
I do, but yeah, I should be doing more. We gonna get into it.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into it because I'm about to get on it. But shoot, I found out when I went back to Scott to be a mentor a few years ago that we had like an aviator school. Mm-hmm. See, y'all shaking your head. Listen, man, the producer shaking his head like, yeah, I didn't know that. Did you know that? When you was in high school?
No, I didn't know it till my sister was in high school.
Well, guess what? It ain't do you no good now, did it?
Not a piece of it.
Did y'all know it was aviator school? See, look, and they in it. They in high school. That's an issue. I think that we
Explain what that is.
So it teaches you how to be a pilot in TPS schools. So it's a program that you can get in, and it's a 2-year program. I forgot when I was mentoring, you only had to literally have a 2.5, but you had to get accepted. But it was a shuttle that took you out to the airport to train you to be a pilot.
They teach you how to work on planes.
But it'll get you in a program to. It, like kind of shortcut you to the program to be that, which I thought was dope, and I do think I think because of especially where TPS is, as far as just having students there in general, that's a program, like knowing the trades that you can take in TPS. Shout out to TPS because I graduated from a TPS school myself. The different programs, we're going to edit that part out. The different programs that's in TPS, man, it just really needs to be, we need to take our time to make sure the kids know that they can do different things. And you ain't always got to go to a private school to be, to get some skills, because college is not for everybody.
Definitely.
I know that you have a degree. Would you like to tell the people what your degree is in, young ma'am?
Well, I started off pre-law, and I switched to psychology.
Whoa, time.
And my junior year.
That's why you like to argue.
I don't like to argue.
Well, you're good at it because you argue with me 3 times a week at least.
Sir. We just have discussions. Thanks.
Or debatables.
But yeah, I started off pre-law. I switched to psychology my junior year, and I ended up graduating with psychology and a concentration in law. Then I did a year of graduate studies in addiction psychology, professional counseling, and I still got a year to go. I
think that's fire that you just said I did a year, because sometimes when you hear somebody say I did a year, that's a bid. But you said I did a year. You said I did a year, and that we going upward and not.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, doing bids.
Lord.
What did you do?
In regards to?
In regards to using that degree that you have.
Like, what do I do now? Goodness. My journey through careers was a different one, but eventually I got where I needed to go. I started off as a CO, then I moved into the bailiff position, and now I'm a probation officer for Lucas County, adult probation.
Do you? See, look, this is not good. When the producer is laughing. So if y'all see her and y'all know her, and y'all don't see her at a show, that might not be good. A couple people who's not to be named. That they PO right now. I mean, I'm saved, but hey, there's a lot of time in the streets, buddy. A lot of my friends is still there.
Yeah, hey.
So
I'm born and raised in Toledo. I run into my peers and stuff
all the time.
And I be like, yeah, I've had them names come across my desk, and I slide them on to somebody else. Like, yeah, I can't do this one. I can't do this one. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I see him every weekend. I
oh
can't
my
do that.
God.
And it just is what it is. It don't be no hard feelings or nothing like that. It's just business.
So how important was it for you to get your degree? Like, cause like I said, college ain't for everybody. Me personally, before it was a degree program, I ended up getting a certificate in music technology. That's how old I am. They didn't even have a degree for it yet. But tell people how important it is for you how important it is for you to get your degree.
I mean, for me, it dictated the role I wanted to play just in life in general. You know what I mean? I knew eventually that I would probably be a mom. I knew that eventually I would probably be a wife and those things. But outside of that, what did I want to do and how did I want to impact the world? And for me, growing up in the community that I grew up in, I felt like we needed to see a face in a different light, in a different setting. I get that now, even with a lot of my clients. Most of my clients have a good rapport with my clients because I can actually relate to them, and I can speak wisdom and encouragement to them and say, it is better than this. And you can do something different. And how was I going to do that if I didn't put myself in a position to be able to do so?
And I want the people to know that did not come without hardships. You did have my niece while in college, right?
Yes. Yep.
So, talk about how that was being a mom in the middle of college with a newborn.
You know what? I don't know. I just toughed it out. It's something about resilience and tenacity that'll get you every time. And
Y'all hear the word tenacity.
when I was terrified to tell my mom that I was pregnant, but I told her, and she wasn't that upset about it. And then it was just like, okay, now what you gonna do? Because I hope you don't think you about to drop out of school. That's definitely not an option.
Yeah,
So
we'll figure it out.
you're gonna figure it out. And that's what I did. I went to my professors. I knew what my due date was supposed to be, which was actually Thanksgiving. She didn't come on Thanksgiving, but that was her projected date of arrival.
Huh?
And I was like, look, I'm pregnant. This is when I'm supposed to have my baby. That's a couple weeks before final exams. That's a couple weeks before this. That's a couple weeks before that. But I promise you, like, I'll have all my work caught up. Can I get the syllabus? Can I work ahead of time? Is there a way for me to take my test prior to? And when I tell you, my professors were so, like, understanding. I had, before I had my daughter, I was pretty much caught up with all my work. Then I had her. When I got home, I was able to do all of my final exams, and they sent them to me, and then I had to drop them off to them.
Yeah, because for you youngins out there, this is before the internet was prevalent, and you can type up something and just email it back. Yeah, it wasn't that simple back then.
I mean, it was. I mean, we still had email. I ain't that old. Don't try to put that on me. But,
No, you sent yours on the bird. Like
but I did.
A stork came and
it
picked
was a
yours.
different test than everybody else had, because I gave them forewarning what my situation was. Like, for the most part, all my final exams were like essays. Like, they was these thick books that I had to do. But hey, it was what it was, and I was so determined to make sure that my GPA didn't drop and make sure that my grades didn't suffer, because I felt like everybody just assumed that I was going to drop out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she pregnant, I guess she ain't about to finish school.
So people don't really know. And for those who don't know Nitra, I can tell y'all something about her. This is why she does not take excuses from people well. It's very hard for you to tell her a reason that something is happening. It's not that she won't understand, but she had no nonsense excuse type person. Like, I don't want to hear your excuses.
My thing is just hit reset. Okay, this is the ball you just got thrown. Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Well, I'll tell you what I did when I had my daughter when I was in college. I got a job. I had to stop. Wait a minute.
I already had that.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I had a job, but I had to I had a lot of stuff going on.
Definitely.
But when I had mine, see, I wish I could have been as resilient as you, but mine just didn't work out like that. But I still made myself pretty. I still did good in my life.
Definitely.
So we got the degree out the way. I want to get to. You know what I want to get to?
What we get?
The music.
All right.
That's what we here for.
I'm ready.
So you as for mentioned, you started your first studio session at 25. Did you stay consistent with it, or what happened?
That's a negative. That's a negative.
What a loser.
No, that was just my first experience, and then.
How was it? How was that experience? And be honest, man. I don't care if Lodge my boy. I don't care that you my boy, Lodge. Be honest.
It was cool. I didn't. It was just different. They recorded it. I don't even know where that is at, to be honest with you.
Sid probably got it. Sid like a music hoarder.
But I was there with they brought Carmen Miller in there. Okay.
Shout out to Miss Carmen.
She was recording.
The legendary Carmen.
She was recording something, and so I was just in there, and they was like, she sings and she performs and she does this and she does that, and they was like, so we knew you were coming up here. We know you're new. So we just wanted to, give you an opportunity to see another female kind of doing what you do. And I was like, okay. I was blessed to have the opportunity.
Man, you see Miss Carmen perform, you about to see a show. She gonna be sweating.
For sure.
She about to be
For
moving
sure. All around
for
the,
2-3
not around
hours
the stage,
straight.
all around the room.
Yes.
She
Shout
worked
out
the
to
room.
Miss Carmen, yeah.
Definitely. So it was that, and then I got to hear myself. You know, you get to hear your feedback. You get to. So I'm listening to them. They telling me kind of what to do, and then they send me the songs. So I'm listening to myself. So it was all an experience. But no, I didn't stick with that at all. But eventually, I ended up singing with Soul Hustle Band.
Oh yeah.
So
How that happen?
again, Phil. Phil.
Man, Phil be on it, don't he?
Right. Phil worked with Chuck Moy.
Shout out to Big Chuck.
Who was the manager of the band and lead guitar player. So they worked together. They were talking about needing, some help with the vocals. They had a lead singer at the time. I was just coming in to do background.
So who was it?
And then I ain't got time for your shade boots. And then
Just ask the question.
and so then I came in. He was like, "Nitra, it's cool. You just gonna sing background. Don't worry about nothing." I was like, "I don't want to do no leads. I don't be on the stage. I don't like doing any of that stuff. I don't want nobody to see me." He was like, "No, you cool." Went, did that. Yeah. So the background thing didn't last
Clearly.
at all.
And how many years later was this after your first time recording?
Oof. It wasn't that long after. It was probably maybe like about a year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about like a year or so.
That makes sense.
And we started off doing, small private engagements and stuff like that, and then we just continued to grow and grow and grow. I mean, I stuck it out, and next thing you know, the band started changing members and.
So who was in the band when you got there?
Oh goodness.
This is important.
It is, right? So I'm trying to remember everybody's name, and so Chuck was playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have a solid keyboard player yet. He came into play afterwards.
Well, you'll see why I'm laughing later. Go ahead, continue.
So, Tony Watkins used to play the keys.
Yeah.
That's Chuck's cousin.
Yeah.
And then there's this gentleman by the name of Jay. Used to play on the drums.
I don't know if I met Jay.
Probably not. And then Jerry Kelly played the bass.
Okay.
And this Caucasian man named Ben played the rhythm guitar. Yes. That's how that went. So that was the Soul Hustle Band. That's how it started.
And what did it evolve to?
So then, boom, we meet up with Jerry. Brings this young man into the studio, or not to the studio, to the basement. That's where we used to have our practices, which ended up being the basement / the studio because we used to record and stuff down there too.
Yeah.
So
man, check out that thing together down there too.
So that's when Armani came into the picture. Armani Blakely.
Who?
I just said his name. And
that's my brother, y'all.
Armani Blakely.
And
Del Rey.
Shout out my brother.
And AD.
So I wanted to take a pause for a call for that moment because all three of those guys are in Wall Music, is my everybody know about Wall Music. Adrian, rest in peace to Adrian Dwayne Henry, one of the founding members. Del Rey was right there from the beginning, and Armani. We are going to stay right here. Who played the keyboard?
Yes. Yep.
So that's where you met Armani.
That is where I met Armani.
Young.
Yes.
Musical genius.
Definitely. Very talented individual.
Love my little brother. And that's where, when I came around and I met you, so I remember coming to those rehearsals with Adrian, because Adrian First of all, I had to pick him up or drop him off. So I would just stick around. Shout out to Soul Hustle Band. It actually created some very dope relationships. Ain't that where you met Sasha too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were. Well, I had I went to like this. I'm gonna say it's like an open mic night, and there was a whole bunch of singers. We just happened to all be in the same setting, but Sasha and Tony are also cousins, I believe, and we sang at his wedding together. I sang a song and Sasha sang a song, and then we ended up reconnecting at this open mic thing.
I bet y'all smoked them songs.
And I just approached her and was like, I sing with this band, and I'm looking for some background singers. Like, I really feel like the band would like do so much better if I had some help vocally. Mm-hmm. Would you be interested in being a part of? And she was like, yeah. And that's how our friendship started.
And that's when y'all been getting on my nerves ever since. So y'all, I mean, Soul Hustle Band was just gigging everywhere. I just remember it, man. It was just a good look. The feel of it, the mix of old school and new school was great. You know what I'm saying?
I loved it.
And I think it catapulted for the next step. That's when I came around and was like, when I was coming around and I was hearing you, I'm like, we had just got this, we had just started recording. Now, we didn't have buildings yet, but I said something like, yeah, you might want to be thinking about doing a demo or something. Because me and Sasha had grew up together, so I already know, Sasha asked, I ain't going to give too much information about me and Sasha's relationship because I'm going to interview her too. But that's when I got really close with y'all. And so, and you and Armani got close.
We did.
Close enough to be married.
Definitely.
And, I was around for that whole thing. Mm-hmm. I actually sang a song with Armani that he gave me one day before the dang on wedding. I said, what in the world is going on here?
That sounds like Armani.
Hilarious. I said, okay. And so ever since then, I got my relationship with you from then. And so more and more and more, we just started getting cooler and cooler and cooler. But then tragedy struck. Adrian died simultaneously with us getting a studio. So that was a big thing with us. I know it affected you because Adrian, Scotty, and Armani were so close at the time. Even though we all were really, really, really tight.
Right.
But when he died, it just, it affected everybody. So how did personally, because I know he was one of the big components. He's the one that brought me to you. Mm-hmm. So how was him dying? How did that affect you?
Goodness. That was a really, really hard pill to swallow. Getting that phone call on that day. And we had a show. Mm-hmm. We had the casino. We had the casino that day. So our heads was just spinning. We didn't know if we was gonna do. We didn't know what we was gonna do. We didn't know how we was gonna manage through the show. Mm-hmm. And then we did. We figured it out. I mean, the fellas was in the back with sunglasses, trying to tough it out because it was just weird to have to go on that stage after hearing something like that. And then AD used to always be like, you need to do this. You need to.
Right.
You need to quit playing around. I don't know why you playing around.
He be like, man, forget him. If he ain't gonna do it, man, you do it. I'm gonna get you to the people. That's what he.
I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, I got some beats, I got some music, I got this, and I was like, okay. And he had sent me this track, And that was the first track me and you ever recorded together.
So that's why I wanted to also bring up that and the significance of Adrian. Adrian actually started me and your recording relationship with the song, with the music that he gave. I remember the music like it's just,
Yeah.
like I remember that like it's yesterday. And then you start recording with Big Dog. I said, man, you too amazing not to have no album out, because I'm one of those people who know when you got a gift, you don't sit on that gift. It's especially when you got kids by this time. Your kids will always be able to go back and listen to something that you did. Like I still can go back and get my dad's music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some of that stuff 40, 50 years old. A lot of it is actually because I'm one of the youngest kids, and I can still just go get it and listen to it. So I know that the gift that we got is more than just a gift; it's also a legacy.
Right.
So that was important to me, and so we start working on this amazing project, which was called
In My Feelings.
"And My God Dang On Feelings."
In My Feelings.
And oh, were you in your feelings?
It was an interesting time in my life.
Irritating time in my life because of you.
When I started writing that EP. But it was therapeutic for me.
Yeah. I mean, I always just let you go. You know, I say this all the time. Like, out of the people I met who have grown not to be my friends and have grown to be my siblings now, you're one of the few people I've ever separated from my brothers to say, y'all two separate entities. You know what I'm saying? You my brother, she my sister. That's it. Cause you know,
I think that was a difficult thing for everybody to have to do.
It
when
was.
When he and I decided that we was gonna go our separate ways. Like goodness, because he had brought me into the camp.
Yeah, right. And that's what it was. And you know, I commend him too, cause he ain't never throw no shade at Big Bro. He never throw no shade at me, cause it was all about I want us all to win, including him. So you know, even in the bad, everybody got their light and dark spots. I always thought that was a light spot for him, because he just wanted you to win. He wanted to win. He wanted me to win. I thought that was always dope. But I want to talk about the EP. What was your favorite song on that EP?
My personal favorite
Yes.
is Equalizer. Okay.
That song hard.
But fan favorite is always Gravity and Love Me, Let Me Go.
First of all, let me tell you something about Gravity. I didn't care what she said about that. When I knew it was going to be something different and you were special, because some people, you know, I'm going to believe that some people, just because you can do something don't mean you should do something. When we did Gravity, I called everybody. I think I called everybody and was like, we got something. We got something really, really special. Like, we out of here. I was calling people like, we out of here. We gone. That's still one of the songs that I can listen to right now. Equalizer is like my third favorite song on there. I can't even. Dude produced the "Love Me or Let Me Go," huh? Mm-hmm. That probably was the best arrangement song I got on there. You smoked that. I think that's when I was sold on the second song, which was Gravity. That was like was that the last song or one of the last songs?
No, it was in the middle.
Like 5?
In the middle, yeah. Well, I mean, it's only 7 songs on the EP. So.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Yeah. When they heard that, everybody else was sold. I was already sold. I really was sold on the first one because I'm like, oh, you rap too? I didn't know that. But I was like, yeah, she different after Gravity. My nieces and my daughters and like knew every word. If I play it right now for a lot of the kids in my family, they'd know every word right now still. And how long ago was that, Anitra?
Goodness. When did we do that?
I know when we did it.
What
That was 2013, 2014.
14? Yeah, because I ain't even released the full project till 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And we worked on it for about a year. Yeah.
So now we're in 2020.
Right.
Big Dog ain't had no project came out in 5 years. Come on, big fella. You gonna have to tell me why.
Man.
Spill it.
Just life. Life happens, you know. In My Feelings was definitely a relationship-based EP, hence the title.
Yeah.
That's when me and my now ex-husband we weren't split yet, but we were definitely in the trenches. We was going through.
Yeah.
Going through.
Unfortunately.
And that's where some of those emotions and some of those lyrics kind of came from. It was always interesting because people like, who write for you? Who write for you? I write. You hear these words?
Yeah.
I'm writing this. But
and you know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you a story I never told you. I did not want to play that song for that man.
what, Gravity?
No, I played everything. Like Armani always was like,
Armani made the music to Gravity.
I know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I didn't want to play Love Me or Let Me Go for Armani.
Got you.
I'm like, no, let's listen to something else. Bro, because it felt like a movie. And I think it happened on the movie. Oh, what's the one movie when they did this Dream Girls?
Got you.
That was this, Listen.
You so special.
Hit that boy with a Listen song. I'm like, man, I did not want to play that for him. It was hard, though. And it was hard for me because I know me and Armani, like, especially at that time, we was dumb close. We still super close. But I was over at the house. I was giving him, I'm trying to play middleman. You telling me what he need to do. I'm like, okay. This is what she just told me, bro. Don't tell her I told you. So talk about that before we move on to the next project. Being married, because I have an ex-wife.
Right.
And you have an ex-husband.
Right.
How was it being married and doing music? See, your experience kind of different because he's a musician as well.
Right. That was what brought us together. Sometimes I feel like that is, you know, kind of what kept us afloat for as long as we did, because it was something that we could come together and something that we both truly like love, like we really have a passion for it. And at the end of the day, we still tied together by this music thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes people be like, how you and your ex still, how you still work with him? And I'm like, how can I not? Like, we bound together anyway. Like, we
got a whole son. Shout out to my nephew.
Exactly. Like, that's never gonna change. So we gotta co-parent. We gotta figure this thing out. So
and you know, everybody don't have to be your enemy. You figure it out.
You have to figure
You
it out.
figure
It's
it out,
growing
and then once you figure it out, man, you love differently.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a romantic thing anymore. You just love differently.
I tell people all the time, I need him to win because I want my son to win.
Because I want my son to win. Exactly.
I said I need him to win because I want my son to win. My son gonna look up to his father. That's gonna always be one of his heroes. Just like I'm gonna always be one of his heroes.
Facts.
How can I sit here and pray for his demise? For what? What is that gonna benefit me?
Or your son. You know what I'm saying?
So no, I want anything attached to me. I want to be great.
Yeah, and he got greatness all on him.
Exactly.
When bro lock in, it's hard to touch him.
Look, you can't.
Hard to touch him.
I have never denied his talents at all.
This not.
I have never denied his talent. He is a very talented individual.
You know,
shout out to Armani Blakely.
We gonna and just getting better day by day, growing day by day. You feel me?
Definitely.
So now, how was the response to In My Feelings?
The response to In My Feelings was great. It was great. Like I said, there was a lot of people trying to figure out who was writing for me, and then they found out I was writing.
Because they probably thought it was me. Look, y'all.
Here he
See,
goes.
she trying to be nice. I ain't gonna be nice. I write for a lot of people, and people thought that she's smoking the song so crazy. They like this. Shannon got to be doing something. Somebody then already, who I won't name, already put a bug like, don't let Shannon write for this first project. You write the whole project. Best decision she could have made, because I couldn't be in her feelings. But you know that's amazing when it sounds like somebody else writing for it and she just smashing the records. But continue, because
it was a great response. I remember you called me one day and you was like, I was in the drive-thru and I was playing "Love Me and Let Me Go," and the girl in the drive-thru was like, "Who was that you listening to? Is that a new Tamar song?" And I was excited, like somebody thought I was Tamar Braxton.
You heard me? Remember, we wanted to sell that to her.
No,
We was looking for the people like,
I promise you. Look,
and she was on fire at the time.
that's the thing right there.
Shout out to my brother RC on the production for that.
I tell people all the time. I say everybody be looking because they want to be the main attraction. I said I'm perfectly fine writing.
Please, where's the camera?
Writing for these greats. I promise you. Just let me write. Just give me
Please
a place.
let me. Please buy these songs that I have. They are for sale.
I promise.
So we did after that drop, we did a concert in a place that so let me rewind. We start doing artist-based shows and not cover band type shows. I remember the Love and Laughter that you did that put everybody on notice.
I don't. So it
I do. So this the one with Nitra, with all of us. Like, it's probably the best one. I think it was 3.
Okay.
This one was the first time we went to Laughs.
Okay.
Because it was all the hitters on there at that time. We used to have the Love and Laughter shows that was like 20 people on there. Mm-hmm. And we shortened it up into just like some of the best out of the first 2 shows. And boy, oh boy, I think that was the time where the anticipation went up so high. So you were doing 2 cover bands at the time. You were doing Soul Hustle. You were doing your own solo stuff. And then Organized Chaos came into the fray. So about time, it was time for you to do an album release concert at Table 44 upstairs. That mug was... I think that kind of set you apart for greatness. So everybody can see you doing a cover, but when you got people who come in to spend money to see you personally, that's when it's special. Then you had a big single come out with one of the best videos I done seen. I just talked about it yesterday, called Bang Bang. And I know a personal story behind it. I want to kind of dive into that and the importance of, we ain't got to talk numbers, but the importance of knowing your value for something that you wrote. Now, you wrote the song Bang Bang, did an amazing video, had somebody fly in or drive in to shoot it. Amazing look. But what people don't know is that somebody offered to buy that song from you, correct?
They did.
See, it's called the music business, kids. It's cool to do the business, cool that you can do music, but you got to know the business. So what happened with that?
I had some. It was a company wanted to buy it. They wanted exclusive rights to it. They wanted to buy it outright, which meant if it did astronomical numbers, I wouldn't see any of that.
Whatever they paid you?
Whatever they paid me was all I was going to get.
Yep.
And that was it. And it wasn't the worst dollar amount.
I know close to the dollar amount. It couldn't have been me.
It was not the worst dollar amount.
Goodbye song. Yeah. I'll write another one.
You know, in retrospect, and I think back on it, I was like, I probably could have took that, but not for the money, because I felt like that would have opened the door to some other things.
Right.
But that was my first, I was like, oh, wait a minute, somebody looking at me. And the amount that they have offered, I was like, if they offering that And it's a reason why they want it to be exclusive.
Correct.
That was my thought process behind it. It's a reason why they want it to be exclusive. It's a reason why they don't want me to be attached to any way.
My man's Percy Miller said, if they offer me $1 million, that means I already know I'm at least worth 10. And that's important to me. I wanted to tell that story because I know it's a lot of upcoming artists who I just found out look up to me not too long ago, and I'm gonna actually do a little. We gonna hold seminar where we just teach the young and up and coming artists the business. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk about the business, about learning your value. You know what I'm saying? Of a record, and don't think that people aren't watching. People are watching. Make sure you doing your due diligence. Make sure y'all get on YouTube and look up Anitra Cherie. Cherie is spelled like cherry.
It's only one R. Cherie with one R.
With one R, whatever. It's spelled like cherry minus an R. Hell.
Everybody thinks it's cherry.
See?
Look, blame my mama, because that is for real.
Shout out to mama. But it's cherry without the R. Look up Bang Bang on YouTube. Stream it. All of that. Now moving forward to where we are right now in 2020. What you got in the works?
Goodness, about to drop my my full album, because the first one was an EP. So technically, this is not my sophomore
this your first album?
This will be my first full album, right?
How many songs on there? We don't know yet because it's like 22 recorded.
I think we narrowed it down to like 13.
That's not enough.
13. We ain't want it to be too long. You know, people attention
our
span is only so long. Like, come on.
I know the album.
I ain't
you
made
gotta
it
at
through
least
the whole
do
Chris
15,
Brown
bro.
album. I never made it through
They
it.
have 58 songs.
I never made it through it. That's what I'm telling
I ain't even download. That's it. This too much.
You can't. So,
Yeah, 132 songs on there.
Lord, come on.
And I heard he had some dope stuff on there. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
It's too much. It already made my brain explode when he said how many he got.
So yeah, we narrowed it down. It's like 13, 14 on there.
So how long y'all been doing music?
How long you been? Well, she been doing it for 11 years.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. I started when I was 5. I started the first time I ever sang in church. I was 5, and I sang it with one of the friends that we was talking about that you heard, Sasha. She was 3.
Sasha Denise?
Yes. 3. That's the first time we ever sang, and we've been friends literally that long. So you'll probably do my interview when I do hers. You'll probably be the producer, because she kind of like saved my life. But we'll talk about that later. Nitra, no. Pull me out of the muck and the mire. But so I've been doing. I did my first song at 18, and I was rapping. Terrible. So, what's your favorite song out of that 13, 14, or hopefully 15?
Goodness, off of this one, I don't know.
I do. I know mine. I was listening to that mug 2 days ago. Like, Jesus the Christ.
Oh, the songs. I don't know. They all got such a different direction. This was like my first one was, like I said, it was relationship based. This one ain't got nothing to do with those type of relationships. This is all just about coming into your own.
You got a couple of them on there.
Definitely. Well, that's just a part of life.
Yeah.
But goodness.
I picked my top 5 already.
Right. I mean, Queen Things. The ladies love Queen Things. I get that all the time.
We definitely, before we get out of here, we definitely gonna talk about what it means to be a queen of you. But go ahead.
They like, I wake up, I work out to your music and da 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 da. So, that's always, I get like that. Just makes me feel awesome. But the next single to come out, which is definitely one of my favorites, which is Ooh Wee, which is
put your hands together right now for Ooh Wee. Oh yeah, my brother.
It was definitely something different from me, just because I don't know. I ain't never sang like that, like out to people. Even though y'all know how I am for real, y'all know how I talk for real, so y'all get to see. all of that personality. But
So look, I'm gonna stop you right there because I have a story. I don't even know what song. What did you come do the song that I wrote?
we did both of them, I think, that day.
So this dude, first of all, she don't even let nobody write for her. So first of all, her younger brother is honored that I got a chance to do that. When we was done, first of all, she smacked the song that I wrote for her, like killed it. She's like, brother. She kind of try to slide it in there. Brother, I got this beat and I want to do the song. I looked at my watch. I said, we got time. I heard the music produced by my brother RC once again. I said, okay, well, just sing it straight through. Let me see how much work it's going to take. I let her sing it straight through to the hook. I hit the space bar to stop the song. I hit the space bar so hard I almost broke my keyboard. I said, man, what the hell is wrong with you? She's like, what? I'm like, man, we got to get rich. That's one of the hard, y'all gonna see real soon. It's one of the hardest songs that's gonna be out in the city. Definitely. So Ooh Wee is my personal favorite on the project. And then you got that last record we did that Soft Flex is crazy. And I don't know when it's gonna air, but y'all look for these songs, at least Queen Thing, Soft Flex. And I don't know what's gonna make it, so I'm just trying to plug. But I heard pretty much probably like 80% of it. But yeah. Other endeavors. I know we ain't got no date on the album, so y'all just be on the lookout. We just want to make sure everything is done correctly. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that everything is right with it. So there's no date. So before I ask her, I'm just gonna tell y'all. Pay attention to her. Follow her on her social media. What other endeavors do you want to do?
Oh goodness. What's in the works? Well, hopefully, the goal is to have my own podcast.
Look right there in that camera.
Have my own podcast.
Talk to who you posted. What's the person's name? Say it. Say it right now. Jesse Coleman.
Jesse Coleman.
I'm gonna get on out the way. Talk to Jesse.
So I have actually reached out to Jesse. Hopefully we get an opportunity to talk and discuss the platform and the opportunity for me to have a podcast. I would love to be a part of the 419 Grind team. So be on the lookout for that. I want to talk about the topics that affect our culture.
But we ain't gonna say what it is because we know people in Toledo steal. Some thieves.
Don't say that.
I already got my show. I ain't going nowhere. My show is the 419 Grind podcast, so no. I'm cool. I'm gonna tell y'all. I know you steal. You're thieves. So don't give them too much information, but just know.
I definitely want it to be set apart. I feel like I am definitely a fan of the 419 Grind team, the Rise and Grind, the Morning Show. I watch Bree Show.
I'll be on there tomorrow.
RC Show.
Shout out to my brother Cloth Talk,
right,
cut from a different cloth. You heard?
You got Self-Explanatory. I've had the opportunity to watch all of these, and the thing about it is that nobody is taken away from anybody. Everybody is set apart from each other.
Everyone is different. Sean, shout out to Sean Highsmith. He just joined the team too as well. He got some topics that he gonna be talking about. He actually just hit me to be a guest on his show. That means he owed me one as well.
Right.
We just try to keep it oriented, and it's enough topics to talk about without stepping on each other's toes.
I promise you.
I know for what you're doing, nobody has it yet. That's why we ain't giving the information.
Right.
I will be me and Phil, once we work out the logistics of it, we gonna play the background for it. Even if I give up my spot here for that show because I believe in it. Well, I just believe in it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm solid because I really just believe in putting the people on around us So we can get to what we need to get to. I want so you got the album coming, you got the podcast, you got the merch.
Right. I'm helping my daughter launch her own brand as well.
Fire.
So
can't wait to get
awesome.
some of my niece stuff.
Yes.
And so tell the people how they can reach you. What's your social media? What's your videos?
Got you. You can find me on all digital platforms, all social media. Anitra Cherie, Anitra Anitra, Cherie Chery, and yeah, follow me.
Follow her, y'all. Follow
Google
her.
me.
Or Google her, man. Y'all
Google me.
get
It'll
on
bring
there.
me
Get on there, nephews.
Yes,
Follow me too. ShanDiggums.
Yes.
So I'm gonna explain the Santa hat since I'm here. I just dropped an album called A Very Black Christmas. I am very unapologetic for how I feel about feeling this season. We celebrating who we are. You know what I'm saying? And so how we kick it for Christmas, y'all gonna see me in the Santa hat in every single interview until January. You heard? So that's all I got for today. Nitra, you got something else?
No, I just want to say thank you
You
for
welcome.
having me on your show this here evening.
I want to before we get out of here, I would be remiss if I did not shout out One Goal Management, which is Phil and Rob Lewis, man, and you and Summer. I really think that the work that y'all doing, man, is incredible. I know we one big, huge company,
right.
all of us together, but I just always admire the work that's being put in. So, you know, I would be remiss if I shout out the whole company and the whole family. We all one big family.
Shout out to One Goal. Shout out to Wall Music.
You heard?
Shout out to Soul Hustle Band. Shout out to Organized Chaos.
Man.
Shout out to Sasha Denise, who I talked about her starting off with me because of background, but we just really ended up being two lead singers.
Right. And I sang with them too a little bit, y'all. And Organized Chaos. I'm one of the original members too. I did just have a question for. Who is your favorite artist outside of yourself in Toledo?
Honey.
Somebody want a whooping.
You said in Toledo?
Yeah, in the city.
Ooh, goodness. There are so many.
Well, give me your top 5.
Okay. I got, of course, Sasha.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, well, hello.
I love Marcus.
Yeah.
A lot of people are unfamiliar with her, but they're getting more familiar with her that are a part of my team, and that is Two Tone Holly.
Yeah, dog.
She's a beast.
Two Tone special.
Goodness. And Chief.
Yeah. Chief don't tell nobody. Chief all by herself. Grand D Diablo. Chief alone, man. One of my favorite rappers. I won't say mine. But just know.
That's just to name a few.
Yeah,
I feel like
I gave you 5.
I know. And that's not in no order. Like, I promise you, like, I feel like we surrounded by so many talented people. I don't take away from nobody. I work with Summer. She got go. Like, she's awesome. Tony, awesome. Like, come on
Yeah,
now.
man, we loaded. So we gonna create a hub to be moving around so we can make sure that we getting the looks that we deserve. But y'all find out about that later on in another show. This has been Shan Dig for the 419 Grind Podcast and Anitra Cherie.
Hello.
And we out.